and welcome to this video of me going through this sketchbook, which is very special. It was commissioned by a customer for me to do a year of sketches. So I started in June last year and I have just finished it. So it is a Stillman and Byrne sketchbook, because he liked the square one that I had, which was a Dale Rowney one, which they don't do anymore, unfortunately. So I had to source a square one. And this is actually the last thing that I did. Oh, I do need to sign that, because I wanted to do like I started on this page here, and I was intending to do one here after I'd done this first one. This was kind of pressure on the first one, so I was going to do a better one here, but I left this page because I wasn't sure with the inside. Sometimes it like rubs, and I did decide to do this kind of front page here and have my name in it somewhere, other than every one of them is signed by me. Yes, that one is signed there. So I will go through these, and what I've also done, actually, I'll just flick straight to it, is I have written a list in the back of where they all are and what the reference was. So that first one was on plein air, and then some of them were from photos that the customer sent me. Some of them were my photos, and so that's just a little kind of breakdown of where the references came from. So that is the banqueting hall at Gibbside on the 23rd of June 23. Oh, that was it's quite poetic. I do like it when it's 23 something 23. Anyway, this was a photograph that he sent of the second batch of fledglings. I think it's a thrush from the garden. This one I did on my little weekend away, oh no, sorry, my week away last year. That's Bamborough Castle, and I've tried to write the little things, the memos that I do in my sketches. So birds chirping, wind rustling in the dunes. Oh, that was a year ago, look, 4th of July, just the 4th of July today. This again was on my holiday, sat on the beach looking across to Coquet Island from Low Hawksley. Little did I know on that one that I would be teaching the classes at Hawksley Nature Reserve, so that's quite funny. That is Suta Lighthouse. He mentioned it. I can't remember whether he sent this reference picture from Google. I think I've put Google on because some of these I can't 100% remember. Hitterton House Gardens from his photos, that's that, and I decided to do like mix it up a little bit and do little kind of studies of flowers there. That is Crook Hall. I try to keep them seasonal, but these ones that he'd sent me pictures I've kind of like slotted in. So that's the date that I've actually painted them, but it's not necessarily, that wouldn't have been October because those flowers wouldn't have been out. This is Big Waters, so that's fairly local to me. That's on plein air. These are from a holiday that the customer had, so on Skye. That was one of my favourite ones, I think, actually, Neast Point. That again was a holiday in Skye. The sycamore at Sycamore Gap was felled on the 28th of September. So this was 18th of October. I decided to do a little sketch in here just as a reminder, and then I think from that I decided to do the art class of Sycamore Gap, or the other way around, I can't remember what it was. This again is Big Waters, and I have actually done a few different sketches of this from the same bench. I do actually have a painting of the autumn trees from the previous year, so that obviously is October after the rain, so you can't really tell, but the water is kind of like higher. These were the pumpkins that I did for an art class, and I just had them I think I got another one. I had them as a still life to do. This, I think I collected some leaves for an art class, so I decided to do that. I think a couple of them might actually be from books. I had quite a big spell because I was trying to do as many out and about as possible, but obviously in winter I don't get out and sketch as much. So there was a big leap from the 7th of November to the 3rd of December. This one I did actually do outside. My fingers started getting a little bit cold, but this was on a walk at Big Waters, just seeing all the berries and things, and it had actually snowed. He asked me if I could do some kind of nativity or something to kind of represent Christmas. So I think we both kind of sourced images like this on Google. And then I decided, because I didn't want just one Christmassy thing slotted in, that it was a double page. It would be quite nice to have something kind of more decorative. So I just sourced some pictures online, and I quite like that with the baubles. This one was from a sketch, I believe, that I did when I, oh no, was it from a sketch? Or I have done a painting of it. I did that painting from a photograph, and I did that one out and about at Big Waters. So I'm thinking that maybe I did this sketch, and I've done that one from a photograph that I took, and I've done that one from kind of an amalgamation of all of that. That one was the 3rd of December, which was the same day as that, so I took both sketchbooks out on that day. This one I definitely did from a sketch that I did, again, walked up from Big Waters. So I did this one on plein air, and then I made that one from this sketch here. Obviously you did slightly different colours in the sky. Again, because it was January and I wasn't getting it out, I was trying to think of things to do wintry that I didn't actually have to go out and do because the weather has been awful this year. This one was from a photograph, and I also did this as an art class. I think this was from a photograph of the snowdrops that came up in my garden this year. I went for a walk with my friend to Plessy Woods and saw all of these birds on the feeders, so I wrote a list and came back to the studio and painted them from, I think, all from Google. This one will have been from a photograph, again on the Plessy Woods walk. This one I found on Pexels. It's actually the bridge at Ironbridge, which I just looked up when I was writing that the list in the back, and I was looking for blossom pictures for art classes, and I thought this looked lovely. Put it into my file to paint, and decided to do this because we were getting, it's maybe a bit early for blossom, but we were getting into the blossom era. This was a photograph that the customer had sent me, and again just slotted that in there because that could have been a spring one. These were the camellia that is in my garden. Obviously the first year I've been here that it's flowered. Obviously the first year I've been here, so I didn't see it flowering last year. I took photographs of the different stages and painted those. This is Maggie's Centre, which is very dear to the customer's heart, so he had sent me some pictures. Again, slotted that in because it's a little bit more kind of spring-like. Again, a photo from the customer of Seton Delaval Hall. This is that view from Big Waters, so this was in April. I quite like that it's on the same page like that, because then you can kind of compare. And I did actually see that great crested grebe on the water. Levens Hall, another photograph from the customer. He'd just been to visit. He sent me some and I chose the best one that I wanted to do. Again, Seton Delaval Hall. This is on plein air. All the bluebells in kind of a little bit of the garden. This one I had to take my mum to a hospital appointment and obviously needed to take time out of work, so I thought, well, I've still got photographs that I can do. So, and this again, this is quite seasonal because they're alliums. They probably will have been out in May. So again, that's from a photograph from him. This one is a photograph again from the customer, and when I asked where it was and whether he'd taken the photograph, he said it was Almouth from the other side of the river. And when I looked at the photograph again, I thought, oh yes, when the weekend that I've just been away, and I'll show you the painting further on, the sketch, I was sat there looking that way doing the other sketch back there. So that's quite funny. He went away on a weekend in London and posted a couple of pictures on Instagram, so I chose a couple to paint. So obviously that's Elizabeth's Tower and St Paul's Cathedral across the bridge. So I thought that was quite nice to have those in. They're very different from everything else, but again, it shows kind of his where he's been on his travels in the year. By this time I was kind of conscious that I was possibly a little behind with some of the paintings because of over the winter, and I made myself a schedule that I must do one sketch one week to the next, so that then I could get them finished for June. Well, obviously we're a little past June, but so I decided to do a better study of the Great Crested Grebe, because I did look it up just to make sure that it was a Great Crested Grebe. So I did that. This is the only double page kind of view that I've done. I kind of wish that I'd done one or two more before, because actually it didn't work too badly. I thought because of the rings down there I probably wouldn't do that many. However, it looks alright like that, and actually as two paintings standalone, they look alright as well. So that is the view up to Wheatslade Hill. Again, that was on plein air, that was on a walk. Went to Wellington Hall one day with my son, and we sat and I did that sketch for this. I also did a couple of sketches for myself as well. This one hopefully will be quite special to him, because this was Hawksley Nature Reserve after the class that I taught that he and his daughter came to. So I knew that when he booked on, I knew that I was going to take the sketchbook, and it was quite funny because it was in my bag and he didn't know about it, and I was like, that's my secret. I have your book here, but you can't see it. This one, again, I went on a walk, big waters, and these are the things I was kind of trying to look for, when I'd taken this picture, look for hedgerow type things, but I just had in my head, I'm just going to take some photographs and kind of do a little kind of montage like this. And luckily enough, I spotted a squirrel and I managed to get quite a fairly decent picture of it. So unfortunately it was a grey one, not a red one, but I'm glad that came about on there. This was another walk at Prudhoe Riverside Park with my son. Interesting tree. This was his last excursion that he sent photos from. He did say in his message it was his new favourite garden, so I thought, yes, I'm going to have to include these. And I do love the stonework and the flowers. It's just my cup of tea, these things. So I have put Ilford Manor Gardens there, and it's not as Iford, but I have I have written it correctly there. In my defence, as a photographer, or as an ex-photographer, we at college we had Ilford film and paper, so that's probably where my brain was going. But very, very pretty scenes there. This one is the boats at Almouth. So this one is where I was sitting Oh, there it is. This one is where I was sitting there looking that way, doing the scene there. And again, that ties in quite nicely. There's obviously a couple of boat pictures there. And then this one was the last one. I went away this weekend, and when I realised it was going to be the 23rd of June on the last day that I was at the cottage, I decided, yes, I'm going to save the last one for that. So it brings it full circle. It starts on the 23rd of the 623 and ends on the 23rd 624. And this is one of my favourite places in the world. So yes, I wanted to capture that for the last one. And then, like I say, this is the kind of book of words. I was going to put numbers on, but I didn't really want to put numbers on the pages, so most of them I've got where they are, and he's going to know, so it's just a little reference, like I say, to say where the source was. So that is a year in sketches. I'm really pleased with it. I hope he will be too. Obviously I will have shown it to him before you see this video, and yeah, I was going to scan them in, but to be honest with you, I might photograph each one, but when you commission a painting from me, it is yours. I hope you have enjoyed that video, and please consider subscribing and hit the like button. I will try my best to upload more videos but in the meantime, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.